Hi. We are reading the story. We're on page 36. And we had read where Jacob finally decides to send Benjamin back. We said hunger. Do you remember what they called hunger? The great...
Okay, I'm trying to search for the word.
Watch out for the magnets you're about to roll into them. The great persuader. So finally they get hungry enough where Jacob decides, yeah, I'll go ahead and send Benjamin, even though he didn't want to. So let's pick up there. And remember we had said that he took double the amount of silver, or not he, but the brothers had taken double the amount of silver because Joseph had pretended, he'd put the silver back in their bag to pretend like they didn't pay, though they did. So now they're giving it the money back that they owed, plus more to buy more food. That's where we are. Okay. When Joseph came home, they presented to him the gifts that they had brought into the house, and they bowed down before him to the ground. He asked them how they were, and then he said, "How is your aged father you told me about? Is he still living?" The brothers replied, "Your servant, our father, is still alive and well." I like how they called Jacob they called their father Joseph's servant. And they bowed down, prostrating themselves before him. So their attitudes have really changed now. They're no longer domineering. They're no longer arrogant and hateful, and because they're no longer the ones that are in what?
Sin.
Power. They're no longer the ones that are in power. So now their attitudes have changed because now they're the ones who need help. Joseph looked at them, and he saw his brother Benjamin, his own mother's son. And Joseph asked, "Is this your youngest brother, the one that you told me about?" And he said, "God be gracious to you." So Joseph said this, "God be gracious to you, my son." Deeply moved at the sight of his brother, Joseph hurried out and looked for a place to weep. He went into his private room and wept there. After he washed his face, he came out and, controlling himself, said, "Serve the food." The men had been seated before him in the order of their ages, from the firstborn to the youngest. And they looked at each other in astonishment. When the portions were served to them from Joseph's table, Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as anyone else's. So they feasted and drank freely. So the number 5.
It's just like this. One second. I need to do something for a moment.
When he went to go cry, yes. But now he's given Benjamin, I feel a sneeze coming. He's given Benjamin 5 times the amount of food that the other ones. 5 is the number of grace. Hold on, okay, for real, have a sneeze. Hold on, let me look at the light. Nope. Okay. Excuse me. So, what are we saying here? 5 is the number for grace. 10 gives us the number for the law. 5 gives us the number for grace. So he's heaping on grace to Benjamin. And Benjamin gives us the picture of the younger brother, where Joseph gives us the picture of the older brother. So Joseph, if Joseph is the older brother and Benjamin is the younger brother, do you know what that gives us a picture of? Can you guess? No. Think about it. One of them is us.
That suggests it's like representing God.
Jesus. Excuse me. Yes.
Benjamin is us, and Joseph is God.
Joseph is the one who had to go through all of that suffering and pain, and now he's bringing Benjamin here with him, and he's giving more and more grace to Benjamin. Benjamin gives a picture of us, and we're the ones that need more and more grace. Joseph is the one that, in order to be able to do this, he wouldn't have been able to do this, to heap this type of grace onto Benjamin, if he hadn't have been through that type of suffering. He wouldn't have been able to save his family if he hadn't been through this type of suffering. Joseph was thrown into the pit, and what does the pit give us a picture of? Death. Yeah. He gives us a picture of death, just like Jesus went down into the pit of hell. Okay, where was I? Wait. Now Joseph gave these instructions to the steward of his house. He said, "Fill the men's sack with as much food as they can carry, and put each man's silver in the mouth of his sack. Then put my cup, the silver one, in the mouth of the youngest one's sack, along with the silver for his grain. And he did as Joseph said. As the morning dawned, the men were sent on their way with their donkeys. They had not gone far from the city when Joseph said to his steward, "Go after the men at once, and when you catch up with them, say, 'Why have you repaid good with evil? Isn't this the cup that my master drinks from and also uses for divination? This is a wicked thing you have done.' So when the servant caught up with them, the servant repeated these words to the brothers. But the brothers said, 'Why does my lord say such things? Far be it from your servants to do anything like that.' They said, we didn't do that. We didn't take anything. We didn't repay evil. We even brought back to you from our land the silver that we found inside the mouths of our sacks. So why would we steal silver or gold from your master's house? If any of your servants is found to have it, he will die, and the rest of us will become my lord's slaves." "Very well then," said the servant, "let it be as you say. Whoever is found to have it will become my slave, and the rest of you will be free from blame." Each of them quickly lowered his sack to the ground and opened it, and the steward proceeded to search, beginning with the oldest and ending with the youngest, and the cup was